Our big theme this year is Welcome to the Four-Screen World, by which we mean mobile, as currently constructed, includes tablets and phones. And we looked at that and said, that's crazy. Obviously, these are two very different use cases, very different, particularly from a media point of view. And that let's treat tablets as its own distinct thing and talk about them in their own terms. And in fact, probably talk less about about phones, simply because as people are starting to realize, they're actually a pretty crappy medium for watching. Yeah, you can watch a movie on it, but you're not going to if you have any other choice. And yeah, you can read a book on it, but you're not going to do that unless you have no other choice. And so let's just focus on what we think are, of the four screens, two of them really stand out as media. One is tablets, which are kind of comfy and interactive and touchable, and then televisions, which are big and cool and spectacular and very emotional and very able to carry a lot of weight. And so we think that those are the two of the four screens. We're going to look most closely at tablets and television and let mobile be what it's going to be, which is great for e-commerce. There's lots of things mobile's good for. It's not a great medium. Similarly, the PC has lots of great things you can do with it, but frankly, as everyone's figured out, most people would rather not spend tons of time with their head stuck in a PC. There's better ways to look at things, and I think that's the theme this year. I'm based in the New York area, and I have a certain affection for things that are going on here, and I think this is really obviously the year when a lot of New York media, digital media properties really kind of had people sitting up. I mean, Arianna Huffington's Huffington Post was merely the tip of the iceberg in a certain way. If you look, so we're having opening night, we're going to have what we're showing live from New York, Jonah Peretti from BuzzFeed, David Karp from Tumblr, Ben Lear from Thrillist, and a special guest to be named later. And we're thinking we'll get Emma Barnett from the Daily Telegraph. She doesn't even know that yet, but we're going to make her come down and tame the lions. And probably let it run. I mean, one of the things we wanted to let this do is not be stuck with a conventional kind of panel format where, oh wow, 35 minutes, clock ticking, blah, blah. We're going to let this run a little bit. We're trying to get the Monaco guys to let us serve hot dogs. I don't know whether they're going to go along with that. They kind of said hot dogs. Why would they want hot dogs? And we said, but anyway. So hot dogs and champagne on the seaside in Monaco is what we have in mind for the first night. Prince Albert, bless him, our chairman and patron, just decided 6 years ago that Monaco should have a media-related event, and he has this nice, beautiful hotel by the sea, and in November it's not amazingly high season there, so it's not expensive to stay in. It's a great place to do an on-site event. So one of our things is, everybody stays in the hotel. It's the best networking event just for that reason. You don't have to go anywhere. There's no buses. There's no schlepping. People don't sneak out for lunch or parachute in to do a talk and then leave. Everybody comes on down. It's relatively easy to get to. You fly to Nice, so it's not like the end of the world. You can get there on EasyJet from London. I actually just bought a ticket, 21 English pounds from London, who knew, to fly all the way to Nice. And so that's part of our secret sauce, is that we have this location-based, if you like, event. The second thing is that we're really seriously invite only, and we always have been. We don't sell tickets. You got to pass a certain test, the nature of which will never be revealed. It's like the secret of Coca-Cola, but it involves looking at who you are and what you do. And so we have a really amazing. I mean, I as the program director, I like to always think, oh, we have a really great program, but what we really have at Monaco is a killer audience. And in fact, I think a lot of times I've often thought that if we got those frantic emails the day before from the entire program, every speaker said, oh, sorry, I can't make it. We could actually do quite well just picking out of the audience. We could do in fact, Yossi Vardi, bless him, another of our frequent flyers, is a big proponent of unconferences. We would be the best unconference. The biggest problem we'd have is that if we put up the famous whiteboards and had people, we'd need 15 whiteboards, and we'd need to stick around for 3 weeks to accommodate all the people. So unfortunately, we don't do an unconference, but it has the feeling of an unconference.